Hello and welcome to another episode of Life Talks with me, Fawole. We have the wizard, Abracadabra, from Derry, and we have Teddy Lewis in the studio. Like regular show.
Oh, your energy's too much, man.
You know what that regular show is? You know about that. Come on. No, my energy is too much here. I've only just fucking woken up. I feel sorry.
I feel like I've just woken up, bro. I had a late one last night and I'm struggling.
So. No, you're right.
Yeah, I'm all right.
No, you're right. Listen. I feel sorry for everyone else out there because, like, now I'm awake, right? When I go out there, it's just worries in the dark. I want to go gym and really look at channeling my energy in the right way. But Teddy Lewis, you said drop the DJ, but I can't help it. Teddy Lewis.
Yeah, you can call me what you want, bro.
Listen, energy's from you as well, mate. Energy's because you're in the studio, brother.
Yeah, you've been trying to get me for a while, man.
Come on. You know, not everyone knows. Listen, you was on my original roster.
Yeah.
You're my original roster. I'm on like 60 something shows now. What are we on now? Wizard? 65 almost shows now.
Yeah.
You was on my original roster. For those who don't know, they need to know. This was one of my, you know, like you have a wish list of people you want to interview, people that are close to you, people whose stories you want to tell, people you want to hear, talk to about. This was one of them. My brother from another mother. You know what I'm saying?
It's been a long time, bro.
Yeah, man. So Spence is his government, but
that's my government now. You can call me Spence. You can call me Teddy.
We're family. We've known each other since you was born, since you was yay high.
It's mad though, because most people now like just refer to me as Teddy. Isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's only really like Amy, like, who calls me at home. At home, who will call me. She can't call me Teddy, man.
Yeah, of course.
Even if I'm around people that only know me as that, she's still like, she struggles with it.
Yeah.
And I got a couple but most of my friends now have converted. That's just my nickname. It's just my name now. It's just the way it is. I'm used to it. But yeah, it's
Wait,
just.
sister?
Yeah. You know, she calls me Spence still. Yeah, she still calls me Spence. Yeah.
Come on.
She don't really touch on my sisters don't really like touch on the DJ side of what I do.
It's different. It's separate, isn't it?
It's separate. It's always kind of been like that though. Like I've kind of
get that mic a bit closer to you a bit, please. No, you can put it towards you. But you can relax.
This is my first podcast, isn't it? So I'm.
It's your first podcast.
Yeah,
so
man.
Breaking your cherry, are we?
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm used to all this, man. I don't really talk much, innit?
Come on, no, you're gonna talk because that's what we're here to do, to talk. So you're good.
Yeah, no, I suppose like it's always been the family life, home life, and then going out and doing music and stuff like that, and being around that for the last as long as I can remember. For a while now.
As far as I know. You're a big DJ, not just big in stature.
I mean,
you can be humble. Be humble. Wait, let me land my own plane, mate. Let me land the plane, all right? Open the tarmac, give me the whole thing, and then you can talk about what's on board when we open the plane up.
Yeah.
But people was talking about you. This is way before the podcast and everything. And then remember, I've known you since you was young. But then people started letting me know what you was doing and stuff.
Yeah.
And when I looked at it, I was like, wow. Like, power to you, you've done very well in DJ. You're a good DJ, you've done good, you've been across a lot of different stages and stuff.
Yeah.
And your career as a DJ is something that another DJ could look to and look up to or look to aspire to.
Yeah.
So in that sense, you're a big DJ as far as I'm concerned. You hold your own, you've got your own catchment area, you know your genre, you do your thing, you do it well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're consistent, you'll be getting booked consistently.
Yeah.
You're playing to, what's the biggest crowd you played to?
4,000-5,000 maybe. Maybe.
Yeah. He didn't go around counting each head, but
I don't know.
that's a good. You're a good
festivals,
DJ,
innit? So I don't really know Reading is pretty big.
Yeah.
Out in Croatia is pretty big. They're quite big.
Come on,
you're
you're
these festivals.
Festivals, festivals.
You're a big DJ, buddy.
Yeah, you know what it is. I think I've done well because like someone once told me that you need to be a good DJ and a successful DJ. You need to be able to tick certain boxes. So you need to either be like a radio personality, like on radio, or you need to be like a socialite, or you need to be a producer. You need to run your own events. And I've never done really any of them. I've just kind of got to where I am DJing off of credibility. Yeah. So I'm not a household name as such as, if you like Semtex or Trevor Nelson. I'm not even on their levels, but I mean, they're household names in the DJ world. I'm not necessarily a household name, but my reputation will get me booked because people know that I can hold a stage. I can do clubs,
do
I can
the
do
thing.
this, I can do you know. So like, when you say I'm a big DJ, I'm always like, yeah, am I alone? That the people know the name like they don't know the name like that, but I will be doing certain things that a lot of people would wish they were doing, like Reading or you know, supporting certain artists. I've done and things like that. So yeah, I've done some good bits, man. Yeah, some good bits. I've done some good bits.
What was you like as a child, as a young man? As a say 5 to 7 to 8? If you always wanted to DJ, what did you like?
No. I don't think
girls, what was it for you?
I mean, as a kid, I was like, we was kind of in like a little closed housing estate. You know where I lived.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It was quite small, man. So there was only it was. I enjoyed my childhood like there, but look, as I've got older, I look back at certain things now, and like, you know, like you start to analyze your childhood, and you start to analyze certain things that have affected you as you got older. Do you know what I mean? Like, so when I was there, I was like the only kid of color. Do you know what I mean? But being the only kid of color and not having a strong black background, you kind of just like feel a little bit lost in it. You know, why are people like, why am I judged this certain way? Why do people look at me a certain way? Why do I get these racist jokes? Why do I? Because my mum was brought up by, I was brought up by my mum. You remember my mum?
Yeah, I know your mum. Yeah, rest in peace. God bless your mum, man.
So like,
Your mum was amazing, by the way.
She was a character, man.
Yeah, your mum was a character. Always had a smile for you.
Yeah.
Always great energy from your mum. I never ever got anything. Not that there was anything negative, but whenever I saw your mum, she made me feel good. Smile, made you feel like a kid, made you feel happy to be in the world. Your mum was amazing.
Like my mum, like, she wasn't like a "I love you" type of mum, or she wasn't like she wasn't even really a hugger, but she made you feel safe. Like, because I know if anyone said anything,
problem,
she was there, innit?
Yeah.
She was at the school, she was out in the flats, she was on the road, she was there, innit? So I felt safe with my mum, innit?
Good.
But like, because my mum didn't really necessarily have a strong, my mum was mixed race, obviously my dad's mixed race, so like, but they were brought up prominently by their white parents, innit?
Okay.
So like, I didn't have that strong kind of cultural, do you get what I mean? Like,
that cultural anchor to even understand where you come from.
So like, when you're, and I was literally the only kid of colour in the flats, so like, but I was treated like that, and it was kind of hard to kind of navigate what I'm meant to be or who I'm meant to be as a kid. You know what I mean? And so as I got older, and you know, you had them certain conversations with your friends when you're older, and it's like, I wasn't that bad for you growing up, and you're like, well, yeah, it wasn't for you.
You never saw it.
But when you had them certain conversations around me, and then I'm sitting there like, you know, like, there were certain conversations when I was younger where it was like, you know, what would, like, if you ever brought home a black girl, what would your mum think? To like your white friend, oh no, she wouldn't like it. She would, I'd probably get disowned.
Yeah.
But when you're the only kid of colour sitting there listening to that, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, what's that supposed to mean? Yeah.
What? If someone brings me home, like, I'm gonna get like disowned. Like, they're not gonna like me. Like, do you know what I mean? And there were certain parents that wouldn't talk to me.
What sort of age was that when you realised?
This was when I was young. I remember one of my friend's parents. I say my friend. Like, used the M-word on me. I didn't know what it meant. Well, like, they used it, and then one of the other kids come down and said, oh, you just got called this. And I was like, what's that mean? I don't even know what that means. Like, someone told my mum, and then my mum was like, what? Who told you that? Next thing, she's out doing...
onto it.
Yeah, onto it, man, onto it. Do you know what I mean? So it was like... And there's little certain things like that, and there's certain conversations, there's certain things. But I still enjoyed my childhood. I still loved it there, because it was like... It was cool, man. Like, we didn't really have...
So just say, because I didn't got far from you.
Yeah.
So I was only in like,
up the road, bro.
I was on the other side of Holloway Women's Prison. You might as well say. You was on one side. You was like the flats right next to the prison. Yeah. I was on the other side of the prison. Like, you might as well say two different sides of the same coin, because we had the same kind of people living in our flats.
Yeah.
There was more black people there. There was a couple of Asians. It was a bit more multicultural, but we were still dealing with the same kind of stereotypes, same kind of like pantomimes that we were dealing with. I remember getting called certain things when I was young as well, or being treated a certain way, but just being a kid, like you said, and kind of like shrugging off and getting on with it, not really aware.
Taking it in until you get to you get older and you start looking back on stuff and you start thinking about things, or you know, you realise, like, even over lockdown when people are having arguments over certain things on social media, and you're like
really?
Yeah, you know, like, come on, man, you know, it weren't like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy to forget, isn't it?
Mate, it's easy to forget, but it's easy to remember. I remember, like, the sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me.
Yeah.
That was originated for a reason. Do you know what I mean? Like, I understand what's going on in the world today, but people need more mental fortitude. Do you know, like you get called something or someone says something nowadays and it's all over. Now, I can appreciate the fact of how certain things can impact on people. Certain things can hurt people. Certain things can make you feel a certain way. But we have to have a certain kind of resilience as well.
Yeah. And I think I was resilient. Like,
no, I'm not saying you. I'm talking about today's youth, because you was resilient. Because you wouldn't be sitting here right now if you was. But your same thing in this day and age now. That, they call me this and they call me that. I don't want to go to school. You don't get on with it. We just got on with it. That's my point. Like that's why I said the sticks and stones stuff. Our generation, even though there may be people damaged from it as well, Spence, you got on with it. That's you're sitting there, you had it, but you got on with it because you could have sat there. They're calling me this, calling me that, and never experienced your life or not actually played or enjoyed yourself. It could have been just about those things.
No, you do have to build up the resilience, and you do have to kind of like get on with it and kind of. But I think you have to call it out as well. You have to call it out as well. And
go on.
No, I'm just thinking like my kids, even like they're lighter than me, but they still go through the same kind of battle of like mixed race kids tell them they're not mixed race, but I'm like, but you're not white. Like there's no in the middle for me. Like there's no quarters, or there's no none of that stuff. It's like well, you're not white, innit? Like for me to be like, you got to be 100% white to be accepted as white. That's how I feel. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't really get like and like even some like, so I've had arguments with my white friends over the years over the like if I've ever classed myself as anything more than mixed race, like black or anything, they're like, but you're not black, you're mixed race. I'm like, all right, cool, but like I get treated as a black person. Obviously, there's colorism and stuff where like, we know that side of it, but like in society now, I get treated more like I've always. I relate more now to be treated like a black person than a mixed race person because I don't get the benefits of being white in certain situations. Do you know what I mean? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't get that. Like I tell my friends, I don't get the benefits as well. Yeah. I've got the hair.
You've got dreadlocks as well,
like
bro.
the hair is like even since I've had the hair.
No, it changes it as well, bro. I'm trying to put it in there, bro.
Like it changes it as well. Like
stereotypes that people put forward and stuff.
I mean, I didn't even plan for them.
Your hair's amazing.
Yeah. See,
I'm not cut my. No, he's got a full head of hair. You know, some people don't get it right. Some people there, when they put the dreadlocks, he starts pulling their hairline.
Yeah. No,
he got a good set of hair on his head, bro. He's got a good. He's got a good set of hair.
But I never planned it. I've not cut my hair since my mum passed away.
Wow.
So it was like a mental block. So I couldn't like. I ended up.
I wasn't aware of that, man.
Yeah. So like after my mum passed away, like I remember 2010.
I remember.
And then I didn't cut my hair for a while. You know, you go for a stage where it's just kind of like.
I haven't experienced loss like that, sir.
So yeah, I ended up just being in a bit of a. I had to get up because I had kids and I had to carry on. So it weren't like. I didn't really go into a hole or nothing like that. But yeah, the hair grew out and I was just like. And then when I went to cut it, I couldn't. It was like a mental block. I couldn't cut my hair. I was like, I can't cut my hair. So what's that about? I'm not even that really sentimental. Like with my mum's like ashes and stuff, I didn't really even feel an attachment to them. Like my sister's got them. I didn't really feel an attachment to that. But my hair was the one that I couldn't cut my hair. And then I ended up with this afro. And I was like, I can't be living with that afro thing, man. It's too much.
You know that Wurzel Gummidge, mate.
Oh, mate, it weren't the one for me, man. And then a few people were like, why don't you just like lock it? Started with that. And then, yeah, man, I've not been able to cut it since. It's just It's grown on me, innit?
How long will it take to get...
210, he said.
Yeah, 2010, I've not cut it. Yeah, I've not cut it. So it comes down to about here when it's out the hat and stuff. Yeah, it's quite long. So, yeah, but you get treated differently with it. Definitely.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know, for me, with dreadlocks is a double-edged sword. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you get the stereotypes of people shunning you, the racism and all that stuff.
100%.
They think you're black or whatever. Like, not think you're black. They treat you a certain way. But then, to me, Rastas are powerful people in our community, and then the people that know about Rasta is a religion. We call Rasta a religion. How do you call it?
Yeah, but I mean, for me, it's not my locks are not connected to that, innit?
Yeah, no. But what I'm saying to you, Spence, is like, irrespective of whatever your locks are connected to, primarily when people see you, they don't see a white person, they see a black. They don't see mixed race, they see black.
Yeah.
When they see you locks, they see a Rasta. You might get the stigma or the blessings that go with that automatically. Whether or not your spirituality is that, you're gonna get more respect from a black person. You get more respect from me if you got locks. I think you're
Yeah,
connected
yeah.
to the
Yeah,
that
yeah,
lineage,
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
the roots and culture. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And even to carry your hair like that, whether you're, I wouldn't advocate it. They say pork eating dreads, but whether you're fully,
Let's not talk about my diet.
we're not going to talk about that. But whether you're fully fledged within the religion, or it's just you're wearing the hair as something for yourself, it's still for me. It's you remind me of, like, as I'm looking at you now, people from the tribe of Judah. Like, no, serious, you got a regality about you, sir, and that lends into it as well. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, you got the benefits as well, man. Serious.
Yeah, you definitely get looked at different for having them and stuff. But yeah, I mean, so the childhood, like to now, I feel like it's just been a journey of trying to find myself, innit? Of just trying to find who I am, and like I've got the DNA test at home as well to find out, like, to find out. I'm actually a little bit nervous to do it, though, man.
I'm not doing that. I'm not. Fuck that.
Yeah, I've wanted it for ages, and I've got it, and it's been sitting there with like a year, maybe. Like I've just not done it.
How does it work?
You just swab it in it and you send it off, and they tell you like your background, because there's a lot of questions that I've not been able to ask, like, because now that my mum's gone and stuff, I don't really have a connection to my mum's side of the family. So like, as far as I know, her dad was of Brazilian and Guyanese descent, and her mum was a Romani Gypsy and German.
Wow.
So like, I mean, there's probably more in there I don't know about.
You know
what
I
mean?
can see all the things.
Mate, I'm a mixing pot.
I can see it.
And then my dad's dad was Jamaican, but then his last name is Scottish. So like,
yeah, what is it?
it was Bygrave. So that's a
Bygrave,
Scottish
okay.
name. Yeah. So my granddad's brother was actually like quite a famous boxer, innit? Like he was like Jamaican heavyweight champion, man. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, man. He knocked out Henry Cooper, bro. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Man. He was like,
Just like that, knocked out Henry Cooper.
Yeah, bruv, man. He was good. He was a journeyman, brother. He had loads of fights in it, like, but like he won some big fights, man. He was like, heavyweight champ, man. Like, beat Henry Cooper, and yeah.
Do you do anything like that?
Well, boxing? Nah, I ain't got the temperament for it, bro. Never really had. I used to work security and stuff, like, and I was quite calm, to be honest with you. Like,
Yeah, you're a calm person.
I got a little bit of a temper. Like, I get that from my mum, definitely. Like, but no, I've never really been into doing anything like that, man.
Yeah, no, as long as I've known you, you just being reserved, you just keep it moving.
I keep it moving, bro.
Yeah,
man.
keep it
Do you know
moving,
what I
keep
mean?
it moving.
Yeah.
So, when did you develop a passion for music?
Music, so like, you know that some people are like, I was in music when I was like from the moment I was standing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It wasn't even that. It wasn't even that.
When I came out, I was singing when I came out.
No, it was none of that.
I had headphones on.
Yeah, I don't even think. I used to listen to music at home. Like, I remember because my mum used to have old vinyls in it. So like, there were certain records that I remember I used to love. I used to love Stevie Wonder. And she used
Any
to
particular song?
I Just Called, innit? Was that one? Yeah, you know that one, like.
Then, I just called.
Yeah, that one. I used to remember they used to make her put that one on.
I love you.
There's that one. I remember that one. And then there was Benny King, Stand By Me. I used to like her putting that one on.
When the night
has
come.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
And that is me.
Yes, I remember them. And she used to have the
karaoke with the place.
And she used to have the Motown collection on vinyl. It was like five records, I think.
Don't mention another song because I'll start singing that as well.
Mate, so I used to play them ones as well. But she had quite a random selection of music, my mum. Like, so that was kind of, I used to listen to music at home, but like, not like, well, I thought I was actually gonna. It's only when I got to secondary school and I started like thinking I was going to be a singer or something, and songwriting and stuff like that when I was like 14, 15. And then I went through a stage of thinking I was going to be a singer. And then, I wasn't that good. I wasn't that bad. I wasn't that bad. I just weren't that good, innit? I was a decent little songwriter, but I wasn't that good. I actually had one bad audition and it put me off for life. So
Yeah.
Tell
me about it.
No, I'm good. I don't want to relive. I won't relive that memory. But it was actually, it was actually to perform at the Jazz Cafe.
Okay.
And I had a really bad audition and it obviously never happened. But then I performed there quite a lot as a DJ. So I've actually got to do it, but just in a different avenue.
Yeah, different way.
But then in between, obviously that at school and then to when I started DJing like not full time, but like properly, like putting my time and effort into it. I've done a lot of stuff in between, man.
Of course,
different jobs, man.
Yeah.
I've done everything, man.
Let's have a read it out.
Read it out. What have I done? I've done. So I was a manager for Camden. I used to manage sports facilities. I was a TA in Toriana, actually, across the road.
TA?
Like TA, you know what? Most of the jobs I've done, I've never been trained for, innit? I've blagged I've actually just managed to. I was a football coach. I coached in America.
Fuck off!
Yeah.
Wait. So you're a football coach. This is what a football coach. He's a football coach here.
I was a football coach here first.
He coached in
and
America.
then I went to America and I was coaching in Florida.
So they flew you to Florida to
No.
coach?
I went there and set up a business with my friend and with Amy when we was like, we was young, man. I don't even know age. I'm now that I'm nearly 40.
You forget the
time frames and where I've done so many different things.
Yeah.
The times just merge, you know. So like, we was young. It was before kids anyway. So like,
you always been with your missus?
yeah, since school.
It's
a long time. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Well done,
cool,
man.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Cool. I done it. That's like 23. She's gonna watch this.
She ticks your box, didn't she?
Yeah. So we went there. We set up a little football thing. And we done really well in a short amount of time because like we started in Florida, Orlando, and we was doing these coaching sessions, and the reputation at that time of what we was doing got around to places like Daytona in Florida and stuff like that, which is like a good drive away, man. Like, and we was going off and doing sessions here, there, and all that. But visas and stuff was the reason. Like, we was like kind of blagging it, but we done well. And we had an amazing time. We done a few months out there, and it was good, man.
That's a good thing. Sorry to jump into what you're saying. That's a good thing. That's what I like about America, because over there, if you say you can do something and you can do it, you get to do it. Well, over here, it's not the same. Cause I've lived there, and I said I've done so many things. I just said I could do it. And I was going, give me a chance, and they gave me a chance, and the next one I knew I was doing it. And people were paying me for doing it.
Yeah, and that's what we done, because most of the coaches out there in these leagues, where football was like new to them, they're like doing drills from basketball and converting them to football. And it made no sense. We was watching them like, what are you doing? Like, that makes no sense. Like, yeah. Like, it made no sense what they were doing. Like, some of these parents were trying like to coach football in like with basketball drills, and it was just like, oh, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
So we went out there and done our thing, and we done well, but visas, and then come back to London, and then just
changed up again.
Yeah, we went there twice, and it was a good time, man. It was a good time. But when I come back here, I kind of fell out of love with coaching because it was just not America. It just wasn't like I went from Florida to like Queen's Crescent, and like on a cold October, November evening, I was like, this ain't the same, man. Do you know what I mean? Out there, the kids, like you said, if I said to them, you do this, they were like, yes, coach. No arguing, no nothing. When you come back here, it was like the attitude. They know everything. I was like, oh, this ain't really. I don't know if I'm enjoying this.
Fucking hell, coach. What do you mean? It's fucking cold.
Literally.
I'll come out when I want, mate. My mum said you're a fucking man, and he's.
Literally. So yeah, that kind of, I kind of went into facility management after that. But yeah, I was used to work in Toriano, like working with an autistic boy and dyslexic kid.
That's good.
My spelling, I don't know how I managed that one because I can't even spell myself. I was like, it was like the blind leading the blind. I was like, I enjoyed it. I done it for about a year. Yeah. I got paid to hold newborn babies.
The hell?
Yeah, man. It's a random one, innit? My missus was working for Sure Start, and then she was like, look, do you want to come and like help out? I was like, yeah, cool. So these people used to come and drop off their newborn babies while they went for a swim, and I'd literally just stand there with 2 newborn babies, just like that.
Seriously?
Yeah, man. And where I'm quite cuddly, innit? Yeah, you know what I mean? These babies would sleep.
Where came from?
And the mums would just be looking, I'd be like, yeah, man, it's cool, innit? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I hold you, baby. That's what I'm here for, man.
So how much you get paid for that?
I can't remember. It was a bad little wage, man. It's probably like 15 an hour or something at the time. It was all right.
Just to hold a fucking baby?
Just to hold a baby for an hour, man. They didn't even cry, but they were just there, nestled into the armpit, and they were cool, bro. They were good.
You subdued them with the smell.
Yeah, I mean? Like, you know what? I'm not even a sweater, bro. I'm all right, man.
It was just not even a bad smell. It was just your body.
Yeah. It was cool, man.
Comfortable.
Yeah, they were comfortable, man. I've done that. I've done some cowboy building.
Okay.
Yeah, I ain't trained.
Cowboy building. I thought you was on a horse doing something.
No. Yeah.
I understand what you mean.
I've done that.
I've never heard it. I've done cowboy building.
Oh, I was awful, man. I was awful at that. Did it with beer barrels.
I've been a cowboy. I've done that as well.
Yeah, but you've done that.
That's fucking hurt. It's so, you know.
I've done that for about a year.
I've fucking done my fingertips. You know when you get them when they clap together. Bro,
when them barrels, people don't realise how dangerous that job is. They don't realise that there's that, and you have to train for it as well. And they class it as a trade. It's not a long training thing, but after like I can't remember if it's 3 or 5 days. Because when them barrels come down the hole.
Yeah.
I can't remember what you called it now, but when they come
Down
down
to the cellar,
and they got to hit the mat, but they hit the mat at a dodgy angle.
Did they bounce up? They could take you out of the game.
They literally, and I mean, if you're like, people get too relaxed and they drop one of them on your head, you're dead. Like you got
to be aware of the people down below, the people that down below where they're throwing the star. People walking down the street can walk into the thing. You got to hit the mat right. If you're setting up, like you can't. I'll grab the barrel, just start setting it up. You can't find another one down. That could take my legs out the game. It's mad. It's mad.
I enjoyed it. I got strong doing it.
I did it for 2 days.
I lasted.
I said, nah.
I think I lasted probably about 9 months to a year.
Big up, Brick and Hanger. You know who you are. Brick and Hanger. They're your nicknames. You know who you are. I won't hot you up, but you support me and then kick me out as well.
It was alright. I got strong doing that, but it was like.
Yeah, you do. You would get strong doing that.
Yeah, I had enough.
The kegs are heavy.
Man.
The empties are easy.
We used to do 3 runs a day as well on the big Arctic lorries.
3 runs.
We done 3 runs. We used to do something. Yeah.
I used to cry when I used to do 1 run.
And we used to do 3. I was on the worst route of. I used to work for a trade team, I think they were called, based out in Brimsdown, and we used to do like we had the run that was like all the odd jobs. So you'd have one lorry that would do say Tottenham and one lorry that would do Central or whatever. We had all the spares.
Yeah,
so we was all over the gaff, man. We were like, yeah. And it's funny that people drive these lorries as well.
Yeah,
wow.
And then even
taking out wing mirrors for fun, like I was like, what's going on here, man?
Even when you got to stop and drop and park and get your space and all, it's all mad.
It's crazy, man.
It's
crazy.
God,
I got in trouble for. We always used to get parking tickets. I always used to pose for the parking tickets.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
The walls would cover. We really care. We weren't paying them. Like I'd always be in the pictures like this. And I remember they called me into the office. I hated the people in the office at that company. But yeah, they called me and they was like, look. We know you're going to get tickets when you stop posing in front of them. I was like, oh, man, it gives me this entertainment, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, what else have I done? I've done, so I used to do security. I used to kind of roughly manage a nightclub, kind of.
What club?
Tufnell Park, innit, man? The Dome.
Oh, the Tavern. The Dome.
Yeah. So that was,
it?
Yeah, that was
stressful, especially in the manner, in your own manner as well.
Yeah, it worked in my favour to a certain extent because I'm quite good at talking to people, innit? Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean,
well, of course, right from school, you went Burley, didn't you?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You
should have known a lot of people.
I knew a lot of people, man. It was a challenging job, innit?
Yeah.
It was very challenging, man. Some hairy moments in that as well, man.
What was it like when you had your kids?
I stopped doing that. My mum, when I had my daughter, my mum was like, I think you need to get out of it now. Yeah, I only ever got put in hospital once in the whole time I'd done that.
Hold on.
I got put in hospital.
Hold on. You got put in the hospital
when I was doing that job.
When you were doing security or working in Tufnell Park?
When I was doing security, I got put in hospital once.
Okay, you got put in the hospital.
Yeah,
that's a serious thing, you know. Getting put in the hospital. You know, I've been put in hospital. Well, I wouldn't say the way you put it. Like they put you in the hospital, so they put you in. It sounds. It sounds horrific. But I've been in hospital once or twice because of security.
Do you know the bad thing is like
they put you in hospital. They fucked you up.
I've never been knocked out. I've never been hit and knocked out in it. But I've had like, so when I was doing security, I had it was like South Africans, and they it was a massive
white
brawl.
Or black?
White. It was a massive brawl, man. Where some of the regulars from the Rock Night had to get involved. Like to help us out. It was a proper rumble, and I walked off afterwards, and then I passed out. I was getting hit in the head loads, like bottles, everything.
Oh,
then I walked out and I passed out. And the same thing happened once when I was young. I got jumped. Like there was like about 20 of them jumped me and a friend, and it's actually at the bottom of Tufnell Park Road. We got jumped, and I remember taking a beating then, and I had to run off because they pulled out everything, man, and we had to run, and then it was only afterwards when I got to my friend's house I passed out. It's always about the adrenaline's always carried me on. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I've only even been like knocked.
Pass out when it's time to pass out. It's okay. When it's over, you pass out. That's a good time.
Yeah. Afterwards, I passed out, and it was the same on the door, man. I was taking all these. I remember my friend looked at me. He's like, "Bro, we need to stop." Like, 'cause we was going for time. I've never had an experience like that. It was full on, man. And then I just took too many to the head, man, and I just passed out afterwards. And then it was just woke up in hospital, just like, what the hell happened there? Like,
yeah, wow.
Yeah. That was.
You took some people out the game, though, right?
Yeah. There was a couple of them in hospital as well. My friend, he's one of he's one of the toughest people I know, man. like he was like.
You should have been over to start fighting them again.
He was just like he you know, like we like
start fighting things at him.
You know, from doing security in that job, like you meet certain, like there was certain people that like working with us that day who didn't do nothing. Then they never come back. But there were certain people there when you kind of like, well, you had my back. Like,
Yeah, you need to know. You need to be
you
there.
was there like the whole time. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's important, bro.
and my friend was a little like, yeah. There's a few of them in hospital because a couple of them did get hurt, man. Like my friend, he's pretty handy, man.
Yeah.
He was pretty handy. Yeah, he was pretty handy. But yeah, we had a couple of moments up there, man, over the years, and it was yeah, I don't know why I was doing it. Because I wasn't really like, I'm not an aggressive person, innit? Like
it goes,
by nature,
I think
innit?
it goes back to a bit of the black thing and your size. If you had size at the time, if not, a bit of the black thing. Because when you, I think like in a certain time, people feel safer having a big black fella on the door.
Yeah,
That is a stereotypical thing.
Yeah.
And then once you're big and you're black, you can fight. But no, it doesn't equate that. It doesn't equate to that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I used to.
But I think that's what it's easy for black youths and kids to get into security. In those days, I found that's what I think. Anyway.
Like, I mean, I openly say, like, I spent a lot of the time, I'm very good at masking the fact that a lot of the time I was like, please, I don't want to fight.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really not on this.
Yeah.
Like, but I could mask it very well. Like, and I could stand my ground, and I'm stubborn.
Yeah.
Like, but a lot of times I was like, I don't know.
Who does?
I
If
don't
you're
want
smart,
this,
you
man.
don't.
No, but you meet people that actually enjoy fighting. Like
Yeah,
you,
but it's
you've
not.
worked
But
with
after
them.
a couple of fights, you just like after
Yeah.
a couple of times, you don't. Okay, even if you like fighting, I don't want to go to fight for £10, £15,
Like, I don't even like
£20 an hour. I'm not fighting for that's not money
I don't
to
even really
fight
like
for,
talking
bro.
about like no more because I'm so done with that. Like,
Yeah,
like,
but it's
like,
not money to fight for.
Nah, man. No.
Do you know what I'm saying?
And I
Like-
think it's one of them jobs as well. Once you get to the end of it, like once you start like losing the love for it, you know, like I was good at talking to people and stuff like that, but by the end I was like so listening to the
fuck
same
off, yeah.
listening to the same conversations week in, week out. How you doing, mate? You all right? Yeah. My wife's left me. Oh, why's your wife left you? Oh, because I'm down the pub. Well, like this is every weekend, bro. Like, you know, like having the same conversations, like, and like, you know, like just dealing with the same type of people all the time, and like, I was just like, you know what, man, it's not. And then my tolerance level drops, and then I start reacting to stuff that I shouldn't really be reacting to, and then when I had my daughter, my mum was like, I think you need to look for something else now. So then, you know, I just had to reset, man. Just had to go and find a new field in it to fall into, in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and so like my first job was actually in a Caribbean restaurant in Tufnell Park, Posh Nosh.
Okay.
Yeah.
restaurant.
So that was my first real. Like, they took me in. They took me under their wing, man. Like, I remember we used to go in there. We was quite young when we
Was
were
it a
in
bald
there.
fella, black bald fella used to run it?
Yeah, Nigel and Paul, man, two brothers.
I know them.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
For some reason, I know
Good
them
people, man. Like really good
some
people.
reason, yeah.
And they took me in, man, and they really looked after me. And I'd never really experienced that before, where some people just take you in and just like. Their mum used to work in the kitchen there. Every night she'd give me a bag of like dumplings to take home to Amy. She really. And then like when my mum was away, they made sure I went in there. Like she was on a holiday, and they made sure I went in there and they cooked me dinner. You know, like little things like. Then when it was my birthday, they put on like a big party for me.
Oh.
Like they really went out their way, man. And then one night I had some trouble outside, and the way they reacted to it, I'd never had no one react like that for me before. You know, like I'd never had no one stand up for me the way they did.
Except for your mum.
Except for my mum. But I've never had anyone outside of that stand up for me the way they started. They really, yeah, man. That
Nice.
was
Nice.
That was my first job, man. I was just waiting on, and that was my love. I got into music again, really there when I started. I threw a few parties there and used to play some tunes and stuff. And then when that closed down, that's when I went up the road to the other place, the Irish place. And I started working there, and that was a whole different environment.
Party time!
Oh man, that was a whole different environment, bro.
Boston, you mean?
Yeah, it was a whole different environment, man. That was a culture shock, bro. That was
Yeah.
yeah.
How was your culture shock for you?
It was just like when I first started working there, like we weren't allowed to work in the main bar. Because they were so like a few of them are so racist, like
Wow.
yeah, man, they wouldn't put us in the main bar because they knew we'd get abuse like for working in there and stuff, bro. So we had to be up in the
Irish
club and
fellas?
stuff. Yeah, man, they were ruthless, some of them. Do you know what I mean? But then I had to earn my stripes in there, and then once I earned my stripes, it was cool. Like they knew I was.
can argue yourself,
and I would argue back as well. I was like, a lot of people wouldn't argue, but I'd call them out on it, man. And like my boss, like he was another one who like I got on with really well, and if I had any trouble like that, he had my back 100%. He was Irish. He was just like you're going to talk to him like that, he's going to talk to you back like that. So it never really was a problem for me to stand.
Punch him in the face.
Yeah, it was never a problem for me to
Alex.
stand up for myself in
you
there,
have
man. And that was a whole different era, bro. Man, that was before SIA badges and all that.
Oh wow.
Yeah. We was like, it was like old school. I mean, not old school, but it was before. It was
Taking it
before.
back and give you a hiding, mate. That's
Yeah.
Man,
I mean,
punch you in the mouth. Man, want mine to fight.
The police were ruthless. When the police would turn up, they were like, you know, get me in the back of the van and give them a couple of slaps. Like, it's like, wow, boy, you don't really do that. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're like, yeah. I was like, all right, cool.
All that stuff is still going on, man.
It's still going on, but I mean, back then you could get away with a lot more, innit?
Yeah.
Not so much now, man. There's cameras everywhere now, man. There's cameras everywhere, innit? But yeah, I'm glad I gave that up. But yeah, I've just done loads of stuff, man. But I've never been scared to work, innit? I've never been scared to earn money, innit? Like,
What was your first big DJ gig?
my first big one.
Or where's your first DJ? When did you like, you know, go? Chicka, chicka, chicka,
Yeah, was you
I'm in.
DJing throughout that whole period?
No, so like my first experience ever DJing was at my friend's house in Tufnell Park. His brother bought some decks, and we had no idea what to do with them, and we tried. It's never happened. And then after that, I was like, that ain't for me. That ain't for me. And then
What are you pressing on it?
I think he had Geminis. I think they were Geminis. Like
It just didn't work. You just looked at them. They weren't.
we couldn't get one mix, bro. Like we were awful. Like
But
it was like one.
different today, though.
Yeah, I mean that was the real way of doing it, right? We was awful. And then once I started throwing parties when I was like 19 or something, it was cheaper for me to play music than it was
to get a DJ.
to get a DJ, innit? And I didn't really know that many DJs. So I'd play music, but I couldn't DJ. I wouldn't even call myself a DJ. I just played songs, innit? We used to go Camden and get, you used to get them dodgy CDs, innit? We used to throw these parties and all the songs come off of these dodgy mix CDs from America that were imported. And we'd play the song. And that was a good time to, like, for music for me because, like, people would dance to anything just because they liked that type of music. Yeah. Like, they wouldn't know the songs. But they just dance through it all night, bro. Nah, it's not like that. But like, yeah, so then I've started doing that, but then obviously...
What do you say it's like now then?
It's different now, man. It's like...
Nah, what's it like now? Because listen, this for me, yeah? All right, look, let me say for me, you can give me yours. I would do both do security. I still do security now, but say about 8 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever. You see, you hear a tune come on. Like, Coffee's Toast.
Yeah.
I first thought they were saying moist. Like, I swear to God. It's fucking, I was like, moist. But because I didn't hear, my hearing's funny sometimes, but everyone, black, white, Chinese, Indian, everyone knew the songs word for word. And they knew the dances to do. And like white guys would dance like black guys would dance like white guys. Women would dance like this. You know, like everyone seems more uniform, more like, you know, like...
People like to hear popular music now. They don't really like to go outside of that.
No, but it's not even just that. It's the whole... Not just popular music. They've told you this is the songs. People know the whole song word for word. The dances, step for step. It's like like a programming opposed to like just listening to stuff and liking it and dancing.
But then from that, you're talking probably like 4 years ago, right?
Is that
no?
I just remember looking at
like,
the
last 2 years,
and everyone's singing the same song and dancing. And like I don't. But I'm saying every single song that come back to back, everyone's singing.
And knows the words.
I remember seeing some guy in a suit. Sorry, Spence. Yeah. Like, and I didn't know.
He's passionate about it.
No, I remember seeing a guy in a suit, and he's like, I'm standing there because there's videos on my Insta and all that on security. I film people when they're doing this shit. And I'm like, what are they doing? My man is in a suit, right? And it blew my mind. What was he saying? He goes, "It's in them in knapsack, it's in them in backpack." And he was singing the whole thing. Welcome to Jamrock. From word for word. I thought the guy was fucking Jamaican. Like from what he was singing, but I knew he wasn't Jamaican because he was British in a suit. I saw when he came in. But the way he was singing it, listen, my man was like this, I swear to God. When he was singing, he goes, "It's in them in knapsack, it's in them in backpack." Like he was singing with his chest, bro. I was like, wow.
Yeah, he was feeling it.
Wow, I don't know the lyrics to this bloody song.
No, I'm terrible with song lyrics. I can't remember them to say.
Sorry, you said 4 years ago, 2 years ago.
Well, I mean, like, it's a TikTok generation now, isn't it? It's social media, isn't it? So, like, now, I get quite a few older people, like, they'll say, like, you mix quite quickly. You play songs very like quick, and I'm like, because the attention span's like that now. It's like that, like the way people listen to songs now. Like you find with a lot of the younger crowds that I play to, is they don't know more than 15 seconds, 30 seconds of a song. So like, when you hear certain songs, it drops.
Yeah.
There's a hook.
Yeah.
They sing along, and then once it gets to the verse, the level of
Attention goes down.
and then until you drop the next one, then it goes up. And then it comes down.
That's DJ science right there.
Yeah, and it is because if you play like there's certain songs that I play that I'm like, if I hear it on the radio, I'm like, why is that how long this song goes on for? Because I don't play it that long, like because like no one wants to hear it for that long.
But
like
at my age, my day and age, like I've got even go back, digress even further, say 15 years ago. Or 17 years ago when they started changing things up, because they started this change came before.
Yeah.
And what happened was the tune would come on, and then I'd be waiting for I'd be getting ready for the verse to do my dance. So
but I mean,
and then they chopped to another tune. I'm like, what the fuck's the DJ doing?
Yeah, but now
they changed it all over. Like,
I think dancehall was a big reason for that, because
dancehall you mix quickly.
They mix.
Oh, you mix super quick. When I'm playing dancehall, I mix very quick. Like if I'm playing like a 90s or 2000s set, it's a lot slower. Like you gotta know the crowd, innit? Like if you're playing that music, you can play it a lot longer. You gotta remember them songs. Like when you like 90s songs are about 4 minutes long.
Yeah, exactly.
At least, like some of them are longer than that. They're 4 minutes long. Now, some of the songs I play now, they're only a minute, like less than 2 minutes. Some of them. That's what they're made at. They're made at less than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You hear it, you're like, oh, is it, what? The songs, I've got to mix it already. Like, and the attention span of the crowds are that small. Like, where they just wanna. So you have to keep the level up. It's like a game. Like you have to just keep it going. You have to bubble from one song to another constantly, innit?
What do you think about? Wankers who play with the bangers at the beginning?
There's an art to a warm up. There's definitely an art to a warm up.
Because some wankers play all the bangers, all the 15 minutes, all the good songs, and then they play the same thing.
I mean, people get keen. Something like that's normally that's a new DJ, innit? That's it. Oh, that's a new DJ. Yeah. You get DJs out, and obviously like they're keen to impress, and they'll go in straight away, and they're playing bangers from the off. I mean, it is what it is, isn't it? Like I've come on after people like that. And I'm like, oh, what's going on here, man? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like
everything is hot. So even if you've got 2 or 3 within there with other ones with gems, it doesn't have the same impact as because it's like I understand that. Like, as a consumer, I'm like, what?
As a DJ, you take them on a ride, innit? It's kind of like
sometimes you have to come on and reset. So like sometimes I'll come on and like. Like sometimes you have a warm up, you have a main set, you have a warm down set. But then sometimes you might have that big period in a club where, you have 2 or 3 DJs playing that main set. And then sometimes you have to come on and kind of bring it back down to bring it back up. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of the time it's like learning to kind of like, I find you have to learn to hold your nerve, innit? Because I used to play Proud in Camden every Saturday for like about a year. Maybe a little bit more, and there was a certain part of the night that used to stress me out because I'd be playing, it'd be bubbling, and I'd get to like 1 o'clock and it would dip. And I'd be like, why does it always dip? Like, why am I killing the room? But then I realised it was like because there was no bar in the room and everyone needed a cigarette. No one could smoke inside them. So everyone would go out and then by 1:15, the room was rammed again. And I was like, all right, cool. So for that 15 minutes, it was like, bring it back down and then just hold your nerve. Don't worry about you have to play all the big bangers to try and get people back in. They will come back in, innit? Because at that time, no one's going to another club. They're going to stay in it. So it's just you have to learn the formulas of certain places where you're playing and how to kind of manipulate the crowd and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? I'll be playing to like I'm playing at Box Park. You get like all the girls are dancing. I'm playing like the songs for the ladies, innit? And then you get like one young guy come up, put on like this drill song, and I'm like, why?
I was about to ask you about that.
Why? He's like, oh, it's a big tune, innit? I'm like, for who? Like, well, bro, the girls are dancing, bro. Like, what do you want me to play drill for? Like now, like there's a time and a place for it. This ain't it, bro. Like you should be dancing with girls. Like, why? No, like literally, like, and they, yeah, bro. I'm like, why?
I was gonna bang.
Why? Why do you want to play it?
Where's the banger, bro?
Right. Oh, mate. I have like my tolerance level for dealing with customers as well. Like, is gone down a little bit recently, man. I feel I've been tired this year. I've slept like. I've not slept much this year, like, and I feel like my tolerance level of, I've got to try not to argue with some customers.
It's easy.
You know what it is. It's rude, innit? Like, one thing I hate is when people come up, and this is for people that, like, so if you do watch this, and you're one of these people to go, this is me, to go up to me when I'm DJing and do this with your phone, there in my face, like, I find that rude, innit? Like, I'm like, why are you putting your like.
You know, you
Like in what other walk of life, you go and shove your hand in someone's face?
should go.
Yeah. No, I've got a new thing now. I take it off them and just put it down next to me. And they're standing like that. I just take it off them now. Just take it off and put it down next to me like.
You working to you smart. You
Oh,
working
mate.
smart.
And people just like, they're impatient as well. They come and ask for a song and I'm like, yeah, cool. Like,
Yeah,
I had a-
idiot.
You know, they want it there and then. And I'm like, I ain't gonna go now. I'll play it later, innit? But they want it there, and I mean, it's the standard stuff you see on like on social media, innit? About like like how people request songs. It can get a bit tedious, man. But it is. I mean, it's part and parcel of the job, and we get paid well to do something we love doing, innit? So you have to take the rough with the smooth, innit? Like, you know what I mean? There are not everything in it is you only show really most of the time the good bits, innit?
What's been your favourite set?
My favourite set.
All the time you remember that. When did you really enjoy?
I've got two that come to mind. One was at Finsbury Park for, I think it was Soul and Funk Weekender Festival, and it was like an older crowd and stuff, and it was probably one of my biggest, what would have been one of my main festivals where I was like doing it on my own, and it was an empty tent. When I got there, I was so disheartened because it was an empty tent in it, and it was like a big, on that tent it was like Jazzy Jeff was playing later, Jazzy B from Soul to Soul. It was like big names, innit? So I got this opportunity to play for one of the events I played for, So Fresh, So Clean. And when I got there, it was like empty, innit? And I was like, oh, man. But in my head, my mate was like to me, he goes, listen, he's like, you'll fill it. I was like, don't worry, man, you'll fill the tent, innit? I was like, all right, cool. And I got to, it was the first time I ever seen one. Yeah. Well, no, it was my friend said to me, "Go, don't worry, man. My friends, I got some really good supportive friends, innit?
Always, to all the friends there.
Yeah, no, man. They always give me confidence, man. Do you know what I mean? But they'll tell me when I'm wrong as well, which is good. You need that, innit? You need a balance.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of people just telling you all the time you're doing everything right.
No, man, fuck out of
Do you know what I mean?
Shit,
So
fuck out of here.
and it was the first time I seen my name in lights, and it was just, and I managed to fill this tent.
Of course you did.
In an hour, like probably in half an hour, like people heard that, and it was like that was like a memorable moment because it was like, well, I can actually do this.
And people were jamming.
Yeah, people were jamming, man. I played like some old school hip hop, and then I've got like a little formula that I do for festivals where I start with like hip hop, and I go into dancehall, and then I go into drum and bass, and then like old school jungle mainly, like, and then I come back into hip hop and start. Like I go round, yeah. It's like
you want me to tell Lewis if you didn't?
Yeah.
Come on.
So you DJ all genres then?
Like this day and age, it's hard to stick to one. Yeah. Like especially if you're doing clubs and then you want to play regularly. Like now for me, it's a full-time job, isn't it? So I only DJ. Like so if you want to be, I mean, like, you have to a certain extent. And I don't really like doing privates or corporates. Don't really touch privates and corporates. I just don't enjoy them, man. You know what it is? I'm so, where I've worked for people for so long, I don't like being. It sounds really bad. I don't like. Yeah. And not. Like, I take some. Like I do take some, and it's normally for people that I know or that I know is going to be cool and whatever. But yeah, sometimes I'm just, it's not really for me, man. Like weddings and stuff like that, having to turn up prim and proper and like.
What about radio? Did you do the radio circuit at all?
I'm not really a talker, man.
Yeah,
I've had some guest mixes and stuff like that, but no, that's what I was saying earlier. Like I feel like I've managed to do quite a lot, not ticking them boxes of being like on radio. Like I've done a little stint on pirate radio, like maybe about 10 years ago, and I was just like, what am I doing? Like time's valuable, innit? Like sometimes, like like when you've got kids and you've got other stuff going on, like if it's not really going to benefit me, what am I doing it for? Like,
you have to ask yourself.
Like you have to ask yourself that sometime, But then sometimes you do have to like a lot of people like don't want to go the extra mile and do stuff. Sometimes you have to do stuff for the love of doing it. This is what I tell a few people like that, kind of getting into it. You have to do stuff for the love of doing it. There's going to be gigs that come up where it's not going to pay top dollar, man. Like, but the experience is going to take you to
the next level.
The next level, the exposure, and the love of doing it is going to, like, there's stuff I still do that I don't get paid great for. Like, a lot of the international stuff you don't get paid great for. It's the experience, isn't it? They might pay for your flights and your hotel, but the money at the end of it, I'd make more staying in London. Yeah. Guaranteed. Like most of the stuff I've done abroad, I would make more money staying in London. But the experience and the opportunities you get to perform, and
you might meet out there as well.
Yeah, man, it's great. Like this summer, I had a good summer this year, and I got to like one of the sets I've done was like I got to play after Fabulous, which was like, you don't know who Fabulous is? How do you not know who Fabulous is? The rapper, Fabulous.
Oh, the rapper Fabulous.
Yeah.
I know Fabulous.
He probably look at me like, I'm like, bro, that is your era. Yeah. Don't get me to spell it. No. He was performing. So he was performing at a show in Croatia, and I got to come on after him and like, and he introduced me on stage, and it was like
come and dance that as well.
Yeah. So I was like, that was a moment, man. Do you know what I mean? So you get to do opportunities like that, and I got paid for it and stuff, but it wasn't like. Like if I was being greedy, I would have been like, oh, I want this much or whatever. But no, it was like the experience was more than because you got to enjoy it, innit? I got to remember, I got to love what I'm doing, innit? To be able to perform at the best I'm doing.
Who was the most famous person you met? I mean, Fabulous. You just said you enjoyed doing that. So apart from that, or where you've been like, rah. Like it doesn't matter. I don't mean at a party, on a stage. I don't care where it is.
Well, the most famous person I've met.
Where you've been like, oh, what's happening? Or been a little bit starstruck. Because we don't really do, well, I don't do starstruck. We spoke about this before we started. I don't really think there is a thing, like, I believe every human being is another human being.
Yeah.
Even if you can respect and admire and almost be in awe of the level you've achieved.
Yeah,
so, I mean, if Jay-Z walks in the door right now, but I wouldn't, it's not like I would be like, oh, yes, it's another dude. But it's like, you know, like it's not, I'd respect that because it's such a high level.
Yeah,
certain people,
like,
we're all human beings, you know what I mean?
For me, like, it probably doesn't work in my favour because I could probably have a lot, I'd have a lot more great photos if I actually push myself to get in these pictures with people, but I'm not really like, unless it happens naturally, I'm not on it. Do you know what I mean? It has to happen like we start talking or like, I was at a thing and Idris Elba was there. And he just, you know, like when someone catches your eye contact and he looked at me, he was like, cool, yeah. And then after that, we started talking a little bit and then we got a photo. Cool. If you're just standing there and you're looking miserable, I ain't asking you for a photo. Because if you're rude to me, I'm like,
DJ's
do you know what I mean? I don't want you to be rude. Do you know what I mean? It's my heart drop, but then I get my back up and I'm like, you know, like I had an argument with one American singer, like, because he just come across rude, bro. He spoke to me. I was at the O2 and I had a bowling lane next to his, and he'd just done a show, and I was like, I think I was filming my missus or something, and he came over and started arguing, like, he started swearing at me. But then I'm like, who are you swearing at, bro? Like, I don't care if you got 10 security with you. Like, I'm going to tell you you're a dickhead. Like. And I told him he was a dickhead, didn't I? I was like, you're a dickhead, bruv. Like, and then he was a bit shocked because he was like, what? Like, when you call me, I was like, you're a dickhead. Do you know what I mean? Like, what are you talking to, bro? Like, do you know what I mean? I get beat up by your security. I get beat up by your security, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, they weren't even that. I'm just, it's me and you now, innit? I'm just saying you're a dickhead, innit? Like, you know, like, even like some, like, I feel no way about calling people dickhead, innit? Even some, like, I turn up to some clubs and, like, the bouncers go on certain ways, bro. I have to tell, ministry, I don't want to say too much. But like, even like some bouncers in South London, like they talk to me a certain way sometimes. There's some places where cool. There was one at one venue. He was working with you one day, you know. Yeah, you know when I see you at Amira. There was one guy there, bruv, that I met him at. But
if anyone tells anything to you when I'm around, I told him.
Yeah, I know you would, bro. But I told him in front of the queue, bruv. He was like. You know when people have to go on extra. You know what it is?
I don't know why they do it though.
You know, some places, yeah, when you're not a headliner, you get treated differently, innit?
No, but I don't know why people have to behave like that. You know, like
I don't act like I'm a headliner.
I've seen people come with people.
Yeah.
The security know that them people are with them people. But because the person's like a headliner, they're not their people. They'll let the person go, but they stop their fucking people.
Yeah, bro,
it's just
crazy.
so fucking stupid.
It's mad, bro. It's
dumb, bro. I don't know why certain security go on like dickheads.
I don't know why.
You know why? Because they're dickheads.
yeah, bro. And like I've had
with
that
without the badge.
And I've had that. Like some places I go and I'll headline. Cool. You get treated like you get treated well. Do you know what I mean? And in some places you go and you're not the headliner. And then it's like I don't want to be treated special. But don't treat me like I'm a fucking idiot, innit?
Bruv, no one should come out to your club and
my guy was talking to me like I was a dickhead,
yeah.
And like I just called him out on it, man. I was like, "You're a dickhead, bro." Like, and the whole like he's right next to the VIP queue. He's right there, like that, and he was like, "What?" I was like, "You're a dickhead, man." I was like, "Look," intimidation doesn't really work on me, innit?
Yeah,
like, do you know what I mean? Like I'll tell you you're a dickhead, and I told him he was a dickhead, innit? And it took one of the other bouncers to come over and sort it out, and then it got calmed down. But yeah,
was I there? I weren't there.
No, this was at somewhere else, and then I see him when I was when you was working at, I think it was a Mirror,
okay.
and he was there, like, and then he just kind of, I don't know if he recognised me, but yeah, it was kind of, he kind of looked at me like he knew me, and I was just like, whatever, man. Yeah, I mean, whatever, man. Like being polite don't cost anything, innit?
But it doesn't cost
Do you know what I mean? Like,
it helps us.
And I feel like I always try and be overly polite. And I try and teach that. And I try and teach that to my kids all the time, especially my boys, man. I'm always like,
yeah, good manners don't cost nothing. It gets you so fucking far.
Like, just the way you talk to people makes such a difference, like, you know?
Yeah.
Like, people want to be rude to you, they're going to be rude to you, innit? But, like, you don't have to be like the one to instigate that, innit? You talk to people a certain way, and then you'll just see, like, not that you do stuff for merit, but, like, you'll see doors open up for you because you are genuinely, like...
genuine.
Yeah, I mean, no one's perfect, but, like, you know, if you treat people with respect, it gets noticed, like, you know? And I feel like that's why I've done quite well as well, because I've, like... People know what they're getting, innit? I don't drink, innit? I don't smoke. I'm reliable. Most of the time, I'm on time. Most of the time. Like, I mean, like, sometimes I can do 4 gigs a night.
Wow. Yeah.
5 gigs a day, you know what I mean? So you're running from here to there, to there, to there. I mean, like, it's a tough schedule to keep sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, and you're keeping it clean as well. I respect that.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been drunk, bro.
Huh? You never been drunk?
I've never been high, never smoked a cigarette, never done nothing. yeah, I've never done none of it, and I've always been around it, innit? So like, I've never done it. That's a question I get asked a lot, especially obviously with the hair. If I tell people I don't smoke weed, they're like, what?
Yeah,
they're like, what? But yeah, no, I've never, like, I think I started going out when I was young, innit? So like, I started hitting clubs when I was like 14, 15. Yeah, I used to go to a couple of clubs with my older sister. And my mum's side of the family weren't very good drinkers, and they, like, a lot of them took drugs and stuff like that. But my mum was never touched none of it. But she was like, I remember seeing certain things growing up, like being at my nan's house and my uncle turning up like on drugs and trying to break into the house, and like the little things that I remember. And I remember the impact it had on my mum and my mum's family, how it ripped them apart. And she said to me, I don't mind you going out, but I don't you coming home drunk. I still have some airy moments, man. Yeah, where I don't feel right.
What's the name? That no, go on, let you finish.
I still have moments where I don't feel right. You know, like the lack of sleep can affect me. So I get a lot of migraines as well. Migraines come kind of hand in hand with it and stuff like that. But no, I mean, I'm not on medication or nothing like that. I don't have fits or nothing like that.
You
but
know MP, innit?
Yeah.
Like my man, because he had the crash, innit, on the bike.
Yeah.
I seen him the other day. He's been having, because of that plane and everything, he's been having.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So he's suffering with it as well.
Yeah, he's suffering. He had it from time, but that's made it worse. The medication and everything. So he had a seizure the other day.
Yeah,
man.
the medication's not nice. They put you on as well, man. That made me sleep a lot and eat a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it weren't good medication. It was like, yeah, man, it was like tranquilizers, man, and it knock you out, man. Yeah, they weren't very good.
But then find a herbal remedy, or what would you say, like, to anyone out there who's suffering or have children suffering with this affliction?
Well, my youngest is suffering with it at the moment.
Okay.
So he's on medication. He's on medication at the moment, innit? And it's just finding the right balance, and hopefully, because my daughter had it for a while, and she was diagnosed with it, and then she grew out of it the same way I did.
Nice.
So I'm hoping he grows out of it as well.
He will.
Yeah.
He will.
Yeah.
You say it in his song.
Yeah. I'm hoping he grows out of it as well. But it's obviously they get that defect from me, innit?
Yeah. They get blessings from you as well.
They get the blessings from me as well.
You've got a good disposition, you know, Spence.
But,
Teddy Lewis.
Yeah. You know what I
mean? Come on.
But yeah.
You can talk some more. I like the way you smile. You talk about your drink. It's nice. It's warming. What's the best introduction you've ever given?
What do you mean?
Like, come to the stage now. We have a DJ from London. He's made this happen. He's made this awesome. DJ Teddy Lewis in the house.
I always get embarrassed for that stuff. But no, the best introduction I've actually had. I actually introduced my daughter to stage this year at Reading.
Okay.
And she got to mix a few songs in front of like a pack. Yeah. She's getting into it.
Well done.
She needs to put in, like, she's good. Like, she's naturally talented. Like, she can mix. Just needs to learn music, innit? Yeah. But like, I got to introduce her to a full stage at Reading, man. And everyone had their phones out and their lights. And
love it.
I'll show you the video after. It was a magical moment, man.
Man.
That was one of the 2 highlights when you were saying. That was the other one. That was the other one. Yeah.
Nice. You got me smiling like a.
So that was that was a magical moment, man. That was a
How do
magical.
you feel about vinyls? Do you have a sentimental value to vinyls? Because I know some people.
What, to playing on it, using them?
Yeah, using them. Was
Like-
you a vinyl collector at any point? Or?
I was never a huge vinyl collector. I've still got all my mum's old vinyls and my dad's old vinyls, and then I've got other ones that I've collected over the years. Don't have a huge collection. Never had the space to keep it. Do you know what I mean? But no, by the time I'd got into it, like, well, I was like, you know what, I'm going to actually pursue this, innit? Like, kind of the vinyl era was not there, innit? So, but I learned. I had to go back and learn how to DJ properly on turntables before I could call myself a DJ. So I learned I can play on anything. I can play on USBs, CDJs, controllers, vinyl. I had to go back and learn I learned everything, but I had to go back and learn on that to be able to call myself. Yeah, that I can. I can
because
DJ.
I think at some point, like, I'm definitely gonna say I want to have a party, but I want to have a party with old school DJs playing the old school way.
Yeah.
Like,
There's still people that do it.
But I think I'm personally gonna say like throwing it out there now because we're on camera and all that. Maybe my 50th, because I'm not that far away from it.
You're not far from 50 now.
I'm not far from 50 now.
Really, bro?
Yeah. Remember I'm older than you, innit? So if you're
Yeah, I didn't think you was nearly 50, bro.
Yeah, I'm nearly 50, bro. So yes.
Yeah, he's looking good, man.
Yeah, so yeah, but I think I'm gonna do something like that, have a party with the vinyl and really have a good old party, like old classics, and you can and they play the whole or at least half the fucking record as well.
Yeah.
We can dance, rub some wallpaper off, have a little bubble around the garage in the house. We'll have some fun with that.
Yeah, man.
I will ask you some questions from my book because we haven't got much time left, but yeah. And if you think there's any questions you want to ask me, we've got time, but we've got some time. But not
Go on,
really
I
much
mean,
time.
yeah, well, go on. You ask some questions, man.
I'm glad you come down today, Spence. AKA Teddy Lewis
Do you
in
know
the
what I mean?
house. Your socials, what's it? Teddy Lewis at.
At DJ Teddy Lewis on Instagram and Facebook. I think I've got a TikTok, but I don't really use it. That's my age, innit? I was like, I can't. There's too many social medias, man. Instagram's enough.
That's hard enough.
That's the one. I like Instagram. I like just scrolling, seeing pictures and stuff like that. But
TikTok, you got to do dances and stuff.
oh mate, I refuse to learn the candy dance. You know,
I don't know it.
I refuse to learn it. I'm like, I just don't want to learn it. I'm stubborn. I play it. I don't want to learn the dance.
My brother said he refused.
I hate the song now. There's a lot of songs I hate now.
I think I'm because I've been in the studio for so long. I think I'm resenting. Hold on a minute. Live Talks Monday. Teddy Lewis in the studio. The wizard. And he's just saying he refuses to learn the candy dance.
I refuse to learn the candy dance.
I refuse to learn the candy dance.
I'll
too.
play it, but I refuse to.
He'll
learn
play it, and he'll play it because he's a DJ, very good DJ as well. Check him out. Me, I won't even bob my head to it. I won't even be like, it's like candy. Nah, I keep still. I'm like, I don't know it. I've never known it, and I felt a bit of an outcast. Like back in the day when I didn't know it. Now I can't be asked to learn it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, same man.
Candy's not good for your teeth. No, fuck candy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favourite food?
Favorite food? Boy, I just love food, bro. I'm into cooking, innit?
Yeah.
So I've been cooking a lot recently, man. So I like making a thing called a jambalaya.
You know, like is it Cajun? Not Cajun, is it?
It's Cajun, yeah.
It's Cajun.
It's Cajun dish.
It's like gumbo.
Yeah. It's got king prawns in it, chicken, and it's got all them Cajun spices, and you cook it up. Oh, bro, I love cooking that, bro. I like cooking curries and
It's
stuff.
like what do we call that? Stew?
It's I don't know. It's like a paella or something,
It's
isn't
like
it?
a paella, yeah.
Kind of like a Cajun paella or something.
Doesn't come like a paella. You scoop it out and spoon it. There's bits in it. You eat. There's bits in
Yeah.
it.
It's
It's
got,
like more like a stew, but not a stew.
no, it is. It is more like a paella, like because it's like you cook it in the right, and then it absorbs all the water.
Oh, with the rice and everything. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you cook it up with the right, like you use the chicken stock, and then you put the rice in it, and then it cooks up, and then it's more like a paella when like you kind of scoop it out and stuff. There's no water in it when you scoop it out.
It's just I like that as well because
It's got flavour, man.
amalgamation of all different things. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's got flavour to it, man. Yeah. So I like cooking. I like my food, innit? Do you know what I mean? I'm not too fussy. I ain't too fussy.
Jambalaya. And what another? What's your favourite dessert? You like desserts?
Yeah, I'm not really. I ain't got a huge sweet tooth, but I like cheesecake. Yeah, I do like cheesecake, man. Oh, yeah. Cheesecake's alright, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's alright. It's alright with me. It's alright with you.
yeah.
Love a bit of cheesecake, mate.
Oh, I love a bit of cheesecake.
Yeah, it's not as good as something else I like eating, but I won't say that on the phone camera. I'll say it last time. Do you know what I mean? All right then. PG-13. Do you know what I mean? Where were you born?
London. Yeah, UCH Hospital.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you were a colour, what colour would you be and why?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Like
colour?
like
Not your skin colour. Like, would you be? If you were a colour, like you got white on, you got grey, and whatever. If you was a colour, you got red, you got pink, you got blue. What if you was if Teddy Lewis was a colour? What colour would you be and why?
I would. Well, I think standardly would have said blue, but as I've got older, I'd say green now probably.
Verde, azul.
Yeah, green. I'd say green, man, because I like being outside, man. I like being outside. Yeah, I like being outside. I like. Yeah, I think I like traveling.
Nice.
Yeah.
If you, I've got I'm all the if on the if. Anyway, fuck it. If you're an animal, what animal would you be and why?
A wolf.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh! Why?
I just love dogs, innit? I love dogs, and I think if I was an animal, I'd like to be the wildest of them all, innit? Just be out there, just roaming free, innit?
I like that because one of my animals is a wolf. That's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
I like that. One of my total animals is a wolf.
Yeah, yeah.
Because of the pack.
Yeah. Pac-Man mentality. I like
pack mentality, and I love.
but in a good way. Like they got
Yeah.
each other's back, innit?
Yeah,
Do
and
you know what I mean?
you'll protect your family as well. Your family.
Yeah,
That's how I
yeah,
see it.
yeah, probably a wolf.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. I like that. I like you, Spence. You're all right with me. If you had one wish, what would it be?
Oh, that's a hard. What would yours? That's a hard question, man. I mean, there's a lot of things.
What would it be? If I had one wish, what would it be? The people were more understanding of other people.
That's nice. Yeah,
That's what I wish. Just more understanding, because when you understand someone else, you can kind of treat them accordingly.
Yeah,
and I mean
yeah.
that around the world. I can't ask for world peace and all that other stuff, but I wish that people were more understanding of other people.
Yeah.
Rather than just thinking they know, they actually understood other people.
Do you think the world's got better for that?
Oh, hell yeah. Because I don't care what anyone says. Just through misunderstandings and ignorance, it's caused so much fucking problems.
Yeah.
I think that's, you put me on the spot by asking my own question back.
Yeah,
but I think if I had, like, at the moment, on the top of my head, and not try to be all like, oh, kumbaya and save the world, but I want to do something that's nice to other people. I don't wish to be a millionaire. I don't wish to this. And
I'm not like,
do you know what I mean? Like,
don't get me wrong, money'd be nice.
No, I know, that's what I'm saying. I love a couple of quid in my pocket. Who said I haven't got a couple of quid in my pocket? But I mean, I like all that stuff. But if I was to be able to have the power to wish for something, because I'm going to put a couple of quid in my pocket, probably yours, and we can work for that shit. I don't need a wish for that. Do you know what I mean? I need hard work, dedication, application. You know what I mean? But if I had one wish, that people would understand people more, like, and that's around the world. So I don't be able to understand if you. I don't understand if you're a robber, a paedophile, a killer, whatever. I'd see that as well, so I can deal with you accordingly as well. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's all go across the board. The understanding, the comprehension of people's real, true inner demons or desires. That's what I'd like. But go on. You don't have to answer. I can ask you another question. If you
Go on, ask me another one.
Right. Tell me something about you no one knows.
Oh wow!
Fucking hell.
It's not getting any easier.
What's the next one?
Right, afterlife. Do you believe in it? And if you do, what do you think it would be like?
To be fair, that could go back to the wish question. That would be like, I wish, like, if you could wish for anything, I think it would be like, you know, there was a place where you could actually see people again after.
Okay, so the two would connect.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you like that one, innit?
Nice,
you know what I mean?
nice, yeah.
That'd be a nice wish, innit?
That is nice. That is nice. It's a good, like, I think some of the questions, when I've written them, or sometimes when we get asked questions in the world and stuff like that, we try and look for the right answer.
Yeah.
Like, just naturally as human beings.
Yeah.
I like that answer, what you gave. I think I'm just looking for answers for these questions. If I ask these questions on a regular basis to find out people's perspectives and to find out different answers, like that answer there, I really like that answer.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that answer's caused me to think now.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
I
yeah.
could, like, afterwards, if I could just see the person one more time again, because I haven't really lost
Yeah, I
anyone
mean-
too close to me at the moment. But there will be people I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind having conversations with, and definitely there's going to be a point where I'd want to just be able to even just
Yeah.
make things right and say.
I mean, I
bye.
think there's always like, I think when you lose someone, there's always that, you wish you would have said this, you wish you would have said that. I don't think you can ever say enough, man. I think that's the truth, isn't it? You can never say enough. And I wish I had loads more time with my mum, with my nan, with my like one of my good friends. Just wish, you just wish you had a little bit more.
Take that time, take the little bit of time out.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we take time out that we'll never get back. I mean, like, we'll fuck about and watch a TV show, we'll fuck about and do this and do that,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
we'll
yeah.
say, oh no, I'm too busy to stop and talk to a
Yeah,
mate
yeah.
or call a mate for half an hour. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's really
Yeah,
important.
yeah.
Just take your time out for your people, guys, at home,
Yeah.
man.
And don't waste time. That's another thing, man.
Yeah, don't waste it.
I don't really regret anything I've ever done, but I regret the time I've done doing nothing. That makes
Oh,
sense.
wow.
Do you know what I mean?
So technically it's an oxymoron what you just said.
It's what?
It's an oxymoron because
Yeah,
you do
yeah,
regret something.
Like,
But
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
that's
yeah.
not- that's
Like, I
not-
don't really like everything. Most of the time, like, you make mistakes or you do stuff and you learn from it, innit?
Talk to DJ, Spence,
Yeah.
my old pal. It's been amazing having you in the show.
all
Like,
right,
I've
man.
really learned a
Yeah,
lot.
it's been a
I've learnt-
pleasure, bro.
Yeah, mate, I've learned something from you. I want to get you back on still as well. Is there anything you want to say before you go?
No, man, it's just been a pleasure, man. It's good to talk, innit?
You sound like my boss. Can you give me some? 1, 2, 3. Kenny Lewis, wait a minute, Wizard. And me, I Fawole. That was live talks. Yeah, I enjoyed that, man. We'll get you back. It's
Nah.
good to talk.
I got the voice as well.
Yeah. No one will know.